Hi to everyone, welcome to Codegamy. In the previous video, we have seen about for loop in Python. In this video, we are going to work on for loops and we need to print a pattern using these for loops. The patterns are like a real life object, like a triangle or a rectangle which has some repetitive pattern in it, which has some logic in it. Okay, you can literally print anything into the console. You can print a square, you can print a rectangle, you can print a triangle, and you can print any shape which has some pattern in it. Okay, for this video I will cover the most basic pattern that is asked by many of the interviewers or many of the interview questions or the competitive exams, is to print a right angle triangle like this. The pattern goes like this. In the first line we have one star, in the second line we have two stars, in the third line we have three stars, in the fourth line we have four stars, in the fifth line we have five stars. The pattern goes like this. We need to crack or we need to print this pattern into the console using our knowledge in the Python or in any of the programming. The logic will be the same for any of the programming, but the syntax will be different for the Python, the syntax will be different for the Java, and the syntax will be different for different languages. The logic will be the same. Okay, simply observe this pattern once and we need to find a logic out of it. The patterns are simply a row and column based loops. Okay, the main purpose of column is to jump to the new line whenever it is required. The main purpose of the row is to print the required pattern. Okay, if you treat this as rows, in the first row we have one star, in the second row we have two stars, in the third row we have three stars, in the fourth row we have four stars, in the fifth row we have five stars. Okay, these are like columns. Okay, in the first column we have total number of stars equal to 1. In the second column we have total number of stars equal to 2. In the third column the total number of stars equal to 3. In the fourth column we have total number of stars equal to 4. In the fifth column we have total number of stars equal to 5. Okay, the pattern is like that. Number of stars equal to, okay, I will write here for the right angle triangle, number of stars is equal to column value. Okay, from this pattern we can simply observe like this: number of stars equal to the column value. Okay, I will simply jump into the code, then you will clearly understand how to print this pattern exactly. Okay, as I said earlier, we will have two loops. One will have column for jumping into new line, okay, I will simply write for I in range of 0, 5. Okay, as I said earlier, the row purpose is to print the required pattern. Okay, after tab you will enter into the loop and start writing the second loop for j in range of, from above formula, the number of stars in a row equal to the column value at present. Okay, the for loop will start from 0 and end at 4, 0 to 4. We will have 5 columns. Okay, in the first column we will have 1 star. In the second column we have 2 stars. In the third column we have 3 stars. In the fourth column we have 4 stars. In the fifth column we have 5 stars. Okay, and from this logic the J loop will also need to iterate from 0 to j plus 1. This j plus 1 is to provide the end value exactly, because the range function will not take the final value, as I said in the previous video. If you haven't watched that video, please go and watch that video. I will provide the link in the description so that you will get better clarity on this range function and how this for loop is working. Okay, I will simply enter into the J loop and print our pattern like it is star, and we need to provide another parameter called end, and we need to set it equal to a empty character, and it is nothing. We are not ending this print, so that all the stars print in a row fashion. After this J loop over, before going to the next column, we need to print our new line, or we need to provide this character carriage return. Print the carriage return, and our logic is completed with this statement. Okay, I will simply run this. You will receive an error because we are using this stars which is not assigned to anything. So I'll simply remove this. Sorry guys, it is I plus 1. We need to iterate this for loop J loop from 0 to I plus 1, since the column will have I, and we need to iterate over from 0 to I plus 1, because as for our formula, number of stars equal to column value. So we need to provide this j value to our for loop, so that the number of stars will be equal to the number of columns. So when I rerun the output, you can clearly see the program has printed out our required pattern to the console. Then what is the purpose of this end, and what is the purpose of this /r? Okay, if you not provided this end value, what will happen is the Python will print the star, every star in the new line. So I will simply remove this and show you the output. Okay, when I rerun the output, you can see all the stars are printed individually in the new line. So that is not in our case. We need to print the required stars in a row one by one. So we need to provide this end value to an empty character, so that it will stay in that line until unless we tell the compiler to jump to the new line. Okay, here what is the purpose of this /r? The \r means carriage return. What will happen is, after printing the first star, we need to go to second line. Okay, after when the compiler see this /r, it will simply return to the starting position of the cursor. So in the print statement, you haven't provided any end value. By default, it will take it as new line. So after returning to the starting position, we will go to the new line, and it will print the next stars like this, and again it will go to starting position, then it will again go to again print the required stars. The pattern will goes like this. This loop is automated, and you can try it with the user input. Here the number of rows column equal to number of columns and the number of stars equal to the column value. If you remember the logic, you can print this right angle triangle and in any time. Hope you all understand this concept in a better way. That's it for today's video. I need to give some other pattern to you to work on. I need you guys to print this pattern. For the next video I will explain what is the logic behind this. Simply, the pattern is like this. In the first line we have 5 stars, in the second line we have 4 stars, in the third line we have 3 stars, in the fourth line we have 2 stars, in the fifth line we have 1 star. The pattern is very simple, which is upside down right angle triangle, and we need to change something in this code, and I need you guys to find that out, and please comment it in the video so that I will know you are guys are doing this programming. If any difficulty in printing this pattern, I am making next videos in some other patterns so that I will explain this pattern as well to you guys. Okay, hope you all enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe to Codegamy